Sunday afternoon without 49ers football, and I know it might be tough to enjoy because you're not used to it, but you maybe do savor it a little bit because it's about getting really busy. 9 straight weeks of 49ers football. Not all Sundays, obviously, after this bye week, but it definitely is a nice change of pace, I think, midstream through this 2022 season. That doesn't mean that the content stops, though. I'm still going to talk some 49ers. This one's going to be quick because I want to let you get back to the games, but I promised a video about Christian McCaffrey and how the 49ers are paying for all this, right? They're certainly not thinking too much about all the capital that they spent for Christian McCaffrey after, well, he played last Sunday at this time against the Rams, but they still have to have a bigger picture plan. And that bigger picture plan I was able to illustrate in this article up on The Athletic that came out a couple days ago. Haven't had a chance to do a video to really illustrate what's going on here. But if you want to check it out, it is in the description and it is now in the chat section, examining how the 49ers will pay Christian McCaffrey and replenish their draft picks. 4 picks spent on Christian McCaffrey, right? The 49ers had to go second rounder, third rounder, fourth rounder, and fifth rounder next year. The only reason they beat out the Rams is because the Rams had already spent this season's fourth rounder on Sonny Michel, the running back in the past. That was last year, right? And they didn't have a fourth rounder to give from the upcoming 2023 draft. So the 49ers were able to edge out the Rams. They're certainly happy they did. I think if Christian McCaffrey were playing for LA last Sunday, the result of that game is different. But he was playing for the 49ers. He made history, and the 49ers were able to enter their bye week, the bye week that we're talking about right now, with some wind at their sails. So when the 49ers spent that many picks, when you combined it with all the picks that they had spent for Trey Lance to move up for Trey Lance, you saw a fairly depleted arsenal of original picks for the 49ers. But that did not mean that they are devoid of any picks here in this 2023 draft. And this right here is a look at how the 49ers are playing the long game. I'm going to erase the text title there so you can see this pick status of the 49ers 2023 draft picks. The ones that are highlighted here in gray are ones that the 49ers have traded away. But when you factor in the compensatory formula, which I'll explain here in a second, you can see that the 49ers still have a lot of picks in this 2023 draft. So let's go through them one by one. Round 1, pick 1, traded to Miami for number 3, right? That was traded as a package of several number 1s to Miami, but the 49ers ultimately used it to draft Trey Lance. Then they had picks in rounds 2 and round 3. Those are both gone. Those are with Carolina. So those are now highlighted in gray. Round 4, gone, traded to Carolina. The round 6 pick, also gone. Last year, they traded it for Charles Omenihu. So what do the 49ers have left? Well, as you can see, they are playing the compensatory game really well because out of their original picks, they only have round 5 right here left and round 7 left. But at the end of 2021 training camp last season, the 49ers ran a microtransaction. They had excess linebacker depth. Jonas Griffith had a couple picks in training camp, and they're able to package that for a 7th-round pick, trading Jonas Griffith to Denver. Then you have the compensatory picks from the minority hiring process in the NFL. So because Robert Saleh was promoted to head coach when he was hired by the New York Jets, and because Martin Mayhew got a higher-ranking job with Washington as their general manager, and because Mike McDaniel went from 49ers offensive coordinator to head coach of Miami, the 49ers got a couple compensatory picks in 2 consecutive drafts. The overall benefit of all of this in the 2023 draft is 2 round 3 comp picks for the 49ers. Those are picks at the end of the 3rd round. Then obviously their original pick in round 5. And then we have the Jeff Wilson trade, which just happened this past week. There's a reason why the 49ers held out for a high price for Jeff Wilson. And to them, 5th-round picks are a high price because they've drafted George Kittle in the 5th round, DJ Reed in the 5th round, Talanoa Hufanga in the 5th round. I mean, the list actually goes on and on for 5th-round picks that the 49ers have succeeded with. So they consider replenishment of the 5th round in this draft process to be valuable, especially after trading all this other capital away. Then we get into the compensatory formula for players. This is a little bit more complicated, but when free agents leave, when they don't re-sign, when you let them walk, they sign for a big enough contract, they will enter into a formula. And this formula will determine if you get compensatory picks for their departure. The 49ers are estimated to get a 5th-round compensatory pick for DJ Jones, who signed with Denver in free agency, a 6th-round compensatory pick for Arden Key, who left to Jacksonville in free agency, and a 7th-rounder for Raheem Mostert, who's now teammates with Christian McCaffrey, not with Christian McCaffrey, with Jeff Wilson Jr. in Miami. By the way, just saw part of the Miami game. Jeff Wilson wearing number 22. Christian McCaffrey's old number, 22 with Carolina. We were talking about what Christian McCaffrey is going to wear since Jeff Wilson had 22 with the 49ers. It turns out that number 23 for Jeff Wilson, sorry. So both Jeff Wilson and Christian McCaffrey are wearing number 23. Neither of them is wearing number 22. Who would have seen that coming back when Christian McCaffrey was traded to the 49ers? Anyway, teammates now with Jeff Wilson is Raheem Mostert, and that rounds out the 49ers draft picks. They have 9 for this 2023 cycle. So you could see that even though they spent a ton of capital to get Christian McCaffrey, they are playing the long game by operating the compensatory formula. They had to trade so much for McCaffrey because his contract, as you can see here, is affordable due to a signing bonus conversion from base salary from Carolina this year. So Christian McCaffrey, his cap number is only $690,000 for the 49ers this year, but it expands to $12 million over the future seasons. 49ers will cross that bridge when they get to it. This article right here talks about how they might pay for that. But as you can see, there are 2 costs for Christian McCaffrey. One in terms of draft capital, the other in terms of salary cap space, right? And the 49ers have successfully navigated the draft capital route by playing the compensatory formula. Now, they don't have high draft picks. This is the first time in the Lynn Shanahan era that they're not picking in the first 2 rounds, at least as of right now. But they trust their scouting department to unearth some of that talent in the later rounds because they have yielded so much of it in the 5th, 6th, and even 7th rounds in the past. As far as the salary cap goes, well, we'll see how the 49ers manage that. There's a lot of business to pay for, including Nick Bosa's contract extension coming up. And now Christian McCaffrey is going to be on the books for $12 million non-guaranteed next year. Obviously, you're going to want to keep Christian McCaffrey around if he keeps on delivering at this level, which means that the 49ers might have to get creative. But in this article, I explain exactly how they might get creative with some tables and some, you look at the total amount of expenditures on the books, and then we balance it with the salary cap and what it might look like expanding into the future with these new NFL TV deals. So go ahead and check that out. All right, everybody, get back to your football watching this Sunday. Just wanted to give you a cursory overview of the 49ers replenishing their draft capital and getting ready to pay players like Christian McCaffrey as their star core grows moving forward. Good stuff to talk about over the bye week as the 49ers get ready for the back 9. Talk to everybody soon. Have a good one.